good morning, friends, and welcome to our Wednesday's Hobby at Cafe Media Forum. And we're very happy to have you around for more exciting news and information this morning, which will be brought to you by our panelists. And we're happy also that it's full house today, and we will be bringing you more exciting news on the events here in Davao City and all over Mindanao. So we'd like to recognize our panelists. We have Mr. Maximo Guinness III, the event organizer of Mindanao Traders Expo. We also would like to introduce Miss Hannah Chloe Cano, 2025 TOYM chairperson of the JCI Philippines. We have Miss Matel Ong of the editor-in-chief of Kasal.com, who will talk about the Kasalan at Kapihan or Cotillon 2025 Wedding Tourism Expo. She's always here every year. I think, how many years na tayo, Matel?
Too many to remember na, ma'am.
Okay, Suki. And we have Mr. Steve Lawrence Arquiza, the past president of the Davao JC Senate. So we'd like to introduce also our media friends. Here's Iris.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to introduce our media friends present here today. We have Deborah Bernaldez and Vic Tahod of SMNI. We have Sir Dennis Lazo of the XUM. We have Sir Gio Tanod of Mindanao Times and Ms. Nova Francas of Mindanao Times. And our facilitator today is Ms. Marilyn Roque. We also have our Minda media team and our partners, Ms. Ruby Ochoa and Ms. Shimikara of Ayala Malls Abriza and Ma'am Bibi Montemayor and Ms. Led Jacinto of Habi at Cape. We are streaming live, by the way, via Channel 77 on Sky Fiber TV and Channel 21 on Sky Direct Satellite. Thank you.
Thank you, Iris. And so now we would like to listen to the opening statements, a brief opening statement from our panelists. We'd like to start off with Mr. Maximo Guinness III for his topic, the Mindanao Traders Expo 2025.
All right. Hello. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me dito sa Kapihan. By the way, the Mindanao Traders Expo is actually an event that is very much related to the finance sector. This event has been created way back 2023. Something like it was an event because, di ba, kakatapos lang before ng pandemic. And if you could remember, way back 2018, 2019, I don't know here in Davao, but way back in Panabo City, Tagum, and some other places papuntang Tandag, Agusan, matindi yung scams before sa investment scams. Actually, every now, they still exist. So what we did was we put up this Mindanao Traders Expo to inform everybody to educate everyone na merong legit na investment opportunities at meron ding mga scams. And that's why we partnered with the Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime Group here in Davao. Actually, their regional anti-cybercrime group. And also with TESDA. First of all, kasi we try our best to institutionalize the investment sector. Kasi nga, naglaganap yung yung mga investment scams, makaka-receive tayo ng mga text messages, may mga post online, and unfortunately, because we lack financial literacy here in the Philippines, unfortunately, mas nangunguna yung mga scammers. So this event basically is to inform everybody na we need financial literacy at its core sana, especially sa school natin, to prevent scammers. So that's why in our third year this year, the Mindanao Traders Expo will be held this coming July 31 and August 1, which is 2 days po ito. It will be held in the atrium of Tagum City Hall, which is, if you could remember, Tagum City way back 2018 and 2019 was the epicenter of investment scams. So that's why we held it in Tagum this year in cooperation with the Tagum City Hall. So ganun po.
Okay, thank you very much. We will learn more about that after we hear the opening statement of, we'll go to the lady, Miss Hannah Chloe Cano.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Minda, for having us. So I'm here to promote the Outstanding Young Men of the Philippines. TOYM is on its 66th year, and this year our theme is Excellence in Action, Building a Better Tomorrow. TOYM is actually a flagship program of JCI Philippines. So I'm here to promote, letting everyone know that the nominations are now open, starting it opened in May 30 and it's going to close to this August 30. So I'm here to invite everyone, if you know any remarkable young individual ages 18 to 40, that we nominate them, and we want Davaoenos and Mindanaoans to be recognized at TOYM this year. Thank you.
Okay, so it's only for the men?
No po, it's still it's men and women, but we're still not able to change the brand TOYM. In the world, it's being called TOYP, the Outstanding Young Persons. Actually, lahat po ng mga nagti-TOYM, sinasubmit po namin sila sa world for TOYP recognition naman.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you so much. And we'll listen to another lady first, si Matel.
Yes, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And kami ay nagbabalik from our brand kasal.com, the Essential Filipino Wedding Guide, to bring you once again the biggest gathering of event venues and wedding suppliers from Davao region. So we're gonna be back po once again in Ayala Malls Abriza on July 26 to 27. And this is again open to everyone. Lahat po ng ikakasal, ng nangangarap makasal, ng nag-iisip pa lang magpakasal, kahit hindi pa nag-iisip na makasal, basta wag lang po tayong kukuha ng groom ng iba, no? You are free to drop by and join us on July 26 to 27 at Ayala Malls Abriza.
Okay, para kang teleserye. And this time we'd like to listen to Mr. Steve Lawrence Arquisa, the past president of the Davao JC Senate.
Hi, thank you, Ma'am Marilyn. Good morning once again to our media partners, and thank you, Minda, for having us. I'm Steve Arquisa. I'm from JCI Senate Davao, and we're here once again to promote our flagship program. It's Lead Awards, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank our media partners for your continued support. No? We'll discuss some of the highlights later, but allow me to say that this year will be another year, another edition of Lead Awards. And hopefully, matabangan mi sa atong media to spread the news, and hopefully we can get more nominees for this year. So once again, thank you and good morning.
Okay, that's all the brief opening statements. And we'd like to call on the first one to ask the question from Vic Tahud of SMNI.
A developmental morning to everyone. Ayan, to Mindanao Development Authority. Good morning, and to all our media colleagues, and to all the viewers, and especially to our special guest for today. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. So my first question po is for Mr. Maximo Hines po. Sir, yung sa Mindanao Traders, alam po natin na sa Mindanao is nakikipag-compete talaga tayo, no? When it comes sa ating mga trade dito sa Mindanao, dahil gusto natin na bilang isang mga Mindanaoan na makilala rin po yung sariling atin dito sa Mindanao. So, paano po natin ginagawa, sir, para ma-enhance, matulungan po ang ating mga traders po dito sa Mindanao, sir?
First of all po, education. Kasi yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat. That's why I mentioned a while ago na napakahalaga yung financial literacy. Kasi with just our basic education kasi, we are bilang Pilipino, no? Kasi we've been taught na mag-aral ng mabuti para makapaghanap ng trabaho as we grow older. Sa trading kasi is we tend to make money by using money, di ba? Let our money work for us. And that's the reason why we try our best to provide financial literacy to each and every one, no? Sa mga, especially those who are watching us right now, na i-promote natin yung financial literacy. And aside from that, kasi if we know how to invest our money and do business properly, we prevent scammers, we prevent yung maloko, of course, no? Kaya napakahalaga na educate muna, financial literacy, then prioritize po yung prioritize natin yung community development kasi it's so, for me, based on my experience, if you learn financial literacy with a group of people in a certain community, mas mabilis matutunan natin yung paano ayusin, gamitin ng maayos yung ating pera.
Sir, for my second question for you, sir, paano nakatutulong yung mga ahensya ng gobyerno po natin para ma-enhance po ang mga trade natin or mga products po natin dito sa Mindanao po?
Well, that's a very good question, sir. First of all, kasi our industry, the Mindanao Traders Expo, we really partnered with the government. Kasi first of all, like for example, especially in trading, sa finance, no, trading and finance, napakalaga ang papel ng gobyerno, especially doon sa like the Philippine National Police na anti-cybercrime to provide prevention. Also yung tinatawag nilang awareness in scamming. Aside from that, for TESDA, which is we also partner with TESDA, although as of this moment, hindi pa totally na finalize or na set up yung certification regarding sa trading ng finance, but we are really working hard as of this moment kasi TESDA right now, especially sa Davao del Norte provincial office ng TESDA, right now pinag-aaralan nila how to create the competency skills na gagamitin na hopefully soon we will have a certification sa mga traders. So ganun sa sir. So napakahalaga talaga ng government and of course syempre para mas makita na fundamentally what we are doing is in support with the government.
Thank you po, sir. My third question po kay Miss Maytel Ong po. Ma'am, sa kasal.com po, alam po natin na merong mga magpapakasal na gusto nila ng maging practical. Hindi man porket may pera sila pero gusto nila na medyo tipid din. So, sa mga natin, mga partners natin na mga companies na nag-o-offer po ng mga bride, like for example gowns or what, may mga uso na po ba ngayon ang renting, ma'am, sa mga mga suits po, mga gowns or whatever?
Actually, that's the reason why we consistently put yung ating kasalan in different regions po, no? Kasi we wanted to be able to provide more informed choices para sa ating mga ikakasal at sa lahat po ng magse-celebrate. Minsan kasi iniisip nila, when you go to expos like that, mas mapapamahal ka. But actually, it gives you more variety and options, hindi lang po sa estilo, kundi pati na rin sa presyo. For bridal gowns, napapansin po natin na ang trend ngayon, di ba nung una, kailangan yung gown, itinatago. Binibili natin yan, itinatago kasi ipapasa natin sa mga anak, no? Or sa susunod na henerasyon. Pero actually ngayon po, ang napapansin namin, especially pag galing sa abroad, nagiging practical na sila and they are considering yung pag-rent, no? Para rin mas makatipid sila and at the same time para hindi na rin siguro sila mahirapan sa pagtatago at saka sa pag-maintain ng gown.
Thank you so much po, ma'am, sa kasagutan na yan. Ma'am, when it comes po sa ating mga wedding coordinators naman po, paano tayo nakatutulong sa ating mga mga clients po?
Okay, ang wedding coordinators po kasi ay nandyan to be able to help, lalo na po yung mga, alam po natin yun na marami ng mga brides and grooms na are really very busy with their career, and especially po kung nasa ibang bayan or nasa ibang bansa ang kapartner. So ang wedding coordinator po, ang primary responsibility niyan is to help relieve the stress at sila yung gumawa no, nung mga legwork para hindi sila mahirapan in terms of planning no, yung detalye ng kasal. Kami, nire-recommend namin sa kasalan that you get the coordinator based dun sa requirement mo. So for example po, kung nandito naman kayo sa Davao at kaya naman na i-juggle sa ating schedule, perhaps kailangan nyo lang ng on-the-day coordination. So yung tinatawag po nating on-the-day is during sa kasal, kasi mahirap naman po na naka-gown ka tapos ikaw ang nag-aayos ng mga ninong at ninang mo tapos tinatawag mo yung pare, di ba? Okay, but kung ikaw naman ay galing ng abroad, then baka mas kailangan mo ng mas malalim na support no, from coordinators. Again, ito po ay may options tayo because it will depend kasi sa ating budget at pangangailangan. So kung talaga pong worst case scenario, hindi talaga kaya ng budget na magkaroon ng coordinator, baka pwedeng gawa ng paraan no, with the entourage or with the family. So again, itong ating mga ipinapresent dito is just ideas and inspirations if you really want them and you deem them necessary for your celebration.
Thank you for that wonderful answer.
Thank you.
Ma'am, kay Miss Hannah po, yung 10 outstanding young men po ay napakahalaga no, para ma-inspire po ang ating mga kababayang Pilipino, lalo na po dito sa Davao, na mas galingan pa nila ang kanilang pagseserbisyo po, lalo na sa public service or anumang mga larangan, ma'am. So ma'am, dito sa Davao, ma'am, ano po yung mga hinahanap po natin ng mga tao po? Ano po yung mga requirements niyo? Or
Well, ang basic requirements talaga is, first of all, young. So, it has to be between the ages of 18 to 40 and has to have accomplished sa kanilang field of expertise and merong humanitarian efforts. So, the categories that we're looking for is number 1, humanitarian service and social work, arts and culture, pure science and mathematics, engineering, agriculture, and other applied sciences. We're also looking at education, law, public service and civic work, medicine and other health sciences, and sports, business and economics, and also journalism and mass communication. So I hope meron tayong ma-nominate from our friends in the media here in Davao and in Mindanao.
ma'am, sa field po nila, ma'am, mga ilang taon ang kailangan nila na ano, or meron ba silang kailangan na magandang significant na nagawa muna bago sila ma-nominate?
Yes, sir. Wala tayong specific na number of years rendered in service, but it has to be, of course, significant talaga yung nagawa nila. Kasi I would like to give examples of our TOIM honorees para may benchmark lang tayo. So in the field of journalism, people like Jessica Soho, Karen Davila, Atom Aurolio, ganun po yung mga level of people na nagiging honoree. When it comes to government service naman, we have Vico Soto. Ayan. So mga ganong level. We also have former Governor of Sarangani, Migs Dominguez, now CEO of Alsons Dev. He is also one out of the 5 Dabaweños who has already been recognized as a TOIM honoree. In terms of sports, we have Mr. Of course, Manny Pacquiao and Heidelin Diaz. So people like these ang ano natin. Tapos when it comes to humanitarian efforts, well, recently last year the most popular one was Pia Wurtzbach, also just got the TOIM award. But hindi naman po kailangang super sikat na maging honoree. Kasi marami rin po tayong mga heroes in the field doing excellent work for many, many years that needs to be recognized. So this is my 4th year being involved with TOIM. And so for the past 4 years, I've heard the stories and I became friends with some of them. And some of them are not at all popular, but they've did really deep work in the community and excellence din in their field of work. Yan.
Thank you so much, ma'am. For now, yan lang po muna. Last question ko na lang po kay Mr. Steve po. Paano po kayo naging, ano po yung kaibahan po natin sa TOYM, sir, when it comes po sa pagbibigay ng awards?
Yeah.
Or TOYM.
Yeah. Sige. Maraming salamat. Of course, ang pinaka-first distinction between the TOYM and yung lead award search is the age. Now, if you may kilala kayong mga personalidad na may magaling na contribution or impact sa kanyang komunidad or magaling na invention or magaling na tao, pag 40 and below siya sa TOYM, natin siya ino-nominate. Okay? Pag 40 and above, we have the Lead Award Search. It's a local search run by a civic organization in Davao, which is JCI Senate Davao. And we recognize individuals 41 and above. So, we're expecting kung ito mga young people, ito naman yung mga established na yung kanilang contribution sa society, particularly Davao City. Now, second point, yung counterpart nung TOYM sa JCI Senate Philippines sa national level is TOEFL. Siguro narinig nyo yon, the Outstanding Filipinos. So, yun yung counterpart niya. So, ang JCI Senate, distinguished ko din with JCI because JCI is an organization of young people ages 40 and below. Meron namang group of outstanding individuals, members of Senate before and current, na naging part ng Senate. So there's another group called JC Senate Philippines, another national organization. So TOEFL is a flagship project of the Senate. And sa local nito, yung local club, Davao JC Senate, ito yung Lead Awards, which is founded in 2002 by past President Bobby Orig. And we are doing this search for several years already, recognizing outstanding Davaoenos. So hopefully, we can work together with our regular counterpart with JCI Philippines, together with the media partners to spread the news. And walang mazero dito. If you are 40 and below, we bring you to TOYM. And if you are 40 and above, there's a local search Lead Awards, then we bring you to another national recognition, which is the TOEFL.
Thank you so much, sir. Siguro marami pong mga question. Salamat po.
By the way, before we proceed, I'd like to acknowledge yung mga kasamahan natin, past President Danny Gutera and Davao JC Senate Executive Vice President Reggie Reyes.
Next question will come from Gio Tanutanud of Mindanao Times.
Hello, good morning. I start kay Ma'am Mathel. Ma'am, you mentioned no, it's going to be the biggest wedding expo, no? So anong bago ngayon, ma'am? Ano yung mga offer for this year po?
Okay. Every year, we try to ensure na we have new suppliers to offer. Of course, aside from yung ating mga regulars na sa kasalan. So, abangan natin on July 26 to 27 yung mga bagong ideas and the new suppliers that go with them, no? Yan po yung ating to watch out for sa ating mga attendees. Also, we're also coming up with amazing raffle prizes. Ito po ay para makatulong din, hindi lang para magpasaya, kundi pwede ring maging makabawas, no, sa ating mga wedding budget. For example po, meron tayong prenup shoot pictorial na for raffle, bridal gown for raffle, wedding destination packages for raffle. So these are the items that we're cooking up, and then aside from the fact na admission is free, meron din po tayong mga freebies at saka mga exclusive promos para sa mga attend and pupunta on July 26 to 27 at the Activity Center of Ayala Malls, Abrisa.
Yung mga destinations na mention mo, ma'am, within Davao region, nanto siya?
No, kasi syempre, di ba, when we think of honeymoon, ang concept natin is palabas, no? So kami naman, we're all about patronizing and promoting na we should all tie the knot and celebrate here in Davao region. Tangkilikin natin ang Davaoenyo na produkto, supplier, at mga venues and establishments. Kaya lang po, pagdating sa honeymoon, madalas naghahanap ng bagong mapupuntahan. No? When we travel kasi, di ba, the concept of travel is you have to go outside. So, meron po kaming mga ipaparaffle na destinations in other places para naman mas ma-excite ang ating mga a-attend. And again, you don't need to purchase anything to be able to join our grand raffle sa Kasalan at Cotillion.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Then kay Sir Maximo. Sir, in its third year, no, and then you've mentioned naman din, no, it's more on the financial literacy, no? Sa third year, sir, ano din yung, niya yun? What's new po for this expo?
Okay, actually sir, when we started, we tend to focus on foreign exchange, yung forex. On our second year, we sinama namin yung cryptocurrency. And this year, we focus on community building. Kasi like what I said a while ago, if we really wanted to teach people how to make money using money, mas mabilis matutunan ang through community. So that's why this time we are gumagawa kami before the event, we have what we call campus tour. So naga-campus tour kami. So recently we went to Ateneo de Davao University for a campus tour, and then kami ng mga trading cup wherein the students themselves nag-compete sila by trading the foreign exchange market. Ganun po. Then aside from that, what we do this year is we have more, we have more forex brokers coming over. So they will be bringing some stuff, na mga merch, they will be given away. Tapos may mga authors din ng mga books na namimigay ng mga books nila. And also, since we partnered with Tagum City Hall, so we expect na it will be a massive event. And aside from that, in collaboration with TESDA Provincial District Office, yun nga, napapag-aralan ito with the community kasi nga they are planning to establish the competency standard na magiging certificate na later on ang pagtitrade. Kasi nga, as of this moment kasi, wala talaga here in the Philippines. Though some people or some groups tried, but not failed naman, but eventually hindi siya naging national. So the plan here is to establish a national version of competency standard na skills para maging ma-implement siya nationwide later on.
Okay, sir. We don't know. So you mentioned na massive event siya, no? So how many exhibitors ba, no, magsali nitong event, sir?
As of this moment, sir, yung mga foreign exchange brokers so far ang nag-commit is 6. Then actually kasama dito yung First Metro Securities. Nandiyan yung office nila. They promote naman stock market trading, magti-trade ng stocks. And we also have AIA na insurance, so para matutunan kung paano i-protect ang ating sa mga life insurances. Then we also have I think dalawang cooperatives na like Tagum Co-op and most likely Samolco or King Co-op na magtuturo naman regarding sa how they will save money or make money through cooperatives, paano ng loan, mga ganun, sir.
Okay, and last question, sir, may specific target audience ba tong expo, sir? Or open naman to siya?
Actually, it's open for everyone, especially those who really wanted to learn more sa finance. Kasi basically, nowadays kasi, ang Filipinos kasi, once na may makita ka lang na post, double your money, triple your money, quadruple your money, or even more, minsan, hindi na tayo mag-iisip kasi lagay lang agad tayo ng pera. unfortunately, papupunta tayo sa mga scammers. And that's the reason why the Philippine National Police Anti-Cybercrime really work hard na masugpo ito. Kasi, ang hirap hulihin, sir. Kasi like, for example, you could just simply send money through GCash. Diba? Unfortunately, fake account pala yung GCash na yon. So yung mga ganon, especially ngayon na gumagamit pa ng cryptocurrency, which is mahirap yung traceability. Kasi you just have to put hash codes, no? Yung mga ganon, yung mga crypto wallets. So mahirap hulihin. So yun yung ginagawa ng paraan, and that includes the Securities and Exchange Commission. I don't know kung nabalitaan nyo that the SEC is also trying to find way to regulate this scamming activities. That's the reason why we try our best that everyone should try to visit. Though naka-live stream naman kami by that time, depende kung sino yung resource speaker. And we expect like 3,000 or even more participants coming over kasi maraming mga schools that will be participating.
Schools, sir, na?
Yes po, particularly in Tagum City kasi though Ateneo de Davao already hindi naman totally na 100% nag-commit, pero magpapaalam sila sa school head na program head nila na kasi they will have their own booth din kasi yung mga schools to promote din kasi right now kasi mga schools nowadays very particular na sila na mag-trade sa stock market, sa foreign exchange, at saka mga commodities, mag-trade ng gold. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, kulang tayo sa financial literacy, naiiwan na tayo, sir, sa Southeast Asia. Ayan.
Sige, sir. Thank you. Then, question to Ma'am Hannah. Ma'am, clarify lang, is this a nationwide event? Ma'am?
Yes, sir. TOYM is on its 66th year. And this is nationwide talaga. Kaya, but then, since for the past 65 years, I looked at the numbers. So you're talking about 600 honorees for the past 60-something years. I've noticed that there's only been less than 30 from Mindanao that's been recognized as a TOYM honoree. And specifically here in Davao City, 5 lang po. That's why I'm really making extensive efforts and requesting the help of our media friends here in Davao to help me really cascade this information to everyone para magkaroon tayo ng more nominations from Davao and from Mindanao.
Okay, ma'am. How many nominees ba are you looking for, ma'am?
So this year, we want to reach, the most number of nominations in history of TOYM. So the magic number is 150 nominations. So we want to cross that figure because in the previous years, nasa 140, ganyan, 146. Ganyan. So this year, I want to reach 150. Very clear ang target per area. JCI Philippines, by the way, is divided by 5 areas. So the Luzon, North Luzon being Area 1, the NCR Area 2, South Luzon Area 3, Visayas as Area 4, and Mindanao as Area 5. So very clear that all areas have a target of 30 nominations. 3-0. But if we could diba, mas even better. Yeah, proceed that.
You mentioned, no, ma'am, humanitarian yung parang qualifications. Is it parang katulad ng ginawa ni UNESCO and UNICEF? Ganon ba, ma'am?
Well, we're looking for a young individual, ages 18 to 40, who is excellent in his work. So, na-mention ko yung categories kanina na pwede journalism, pwede law, pwede medicine, whatever it is, pwede in business, but at the same time, doing humanitarian efforts. So, dapat both yan naga-exist. Excellence in work, at the same time, giving back to the community.
Okay. And last question, ma'am. For those who want to join, kailan yung deadline sa submission, and then when will the awards occur, ma'am?
Right. Thank you for that question. So, the nominations will close on August 30 kasi it just opened on May 30. So, right now, it's open already. We encourage you to visit TOYM Facebook page for more details or connect to any JCI Philippines local organization in your city or your barangay. So here in Davao City, there's about 20 local organizations in JCI that you can connect. There's JCI Davao, who's been around for 77 years. So there's also JCI Lacambini Davao, JCI Malagos Davao, may Kalinan, JCI Kalinan Cacao, there's JCI Panabo, merong JCI Davao Golf sa Jose Abad Santos. So there's also JCI Mati, no? So so do connect with a JCI local organization to help you get nominated. Kasi ang magno-nominate sa inyo officially is a local organization of JCI Philippines.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. Then last question kay Sir Steve. Sir, you mentioned no, local naman din to siya na award, yung lead awards, no? Ano ba yung qualifications, sir?
Yeah. Yung qualification niya, kailangan 40 and above, and meron siyang contribution din sa community that the nominee is serving, no? So importante din yung body of work niya. So ang criteria for judging, there are 3. So 40 yung kanyang leadership, yung kanyang nagiging role para naging successful or naging mas maganda yung community. Number 2 is yung kanyang nagiging overall contribution dahil sa kanya doon sa community na kung saan siya nagre-represent. And 20% is yung personal character niya or personal attributes niya that made him worthy of the award, no? But let me bring yung idea of why we are doing this para lang ma-connect ko doon sa criteria din niya, why we are looking for this kind of people, especially here in Davao. 'Di ba, yung ating challenge always sa mga kabataan is to look for role models, 'di ba? Every year we want to yung mga kabataan natin natututok sa mga social media at kung ano-ano pang mga content, no? Sometimes we lack the right role models, no, for our young people para dito sila ma-inspire. So this is another platform. You have TOYM, you have Lead Awards, where we can put up a platform where young people can look up to, they can emulate yung kanilang mga nagawa. Pwedeng ma-inspire sila doon sa mga nagiging achievement nitong mga honorees. Because after the awarding ceremony, we will bring all of the honorees to different platforms, no? Pwede silang maging resource speakers sa mga different seminars or trainings or sa mga schools, whereby they will become the source of inspiration. So I'll bring this analogy to the local level. Sa Davao City alone, we don't need to look to the national scene, no? Sa Davao City alone, pag tinatanong mo yung mga estudyante dito, sino ang idol mo? Sino ang role models mo? Ano bang sagot nila? 'Di ba? So, we don't need to look for yung mga malalayong mga role models. Sa Davao City, kadaming mga inspiring individuals, inspiring Davaoenos, na kadaming contribution doon sa community niya, sa organisasyon niya, sa hospital, etc., etc., no? We just have to recognize them. And when we recognize them, we give the platform for our young people to be inspired and yung kanilang mga body of work to be emulated sa mga kabataan in Davao City, and if you bring it to the national scale, at the national level. So yun po yung advocacy ng JCI. And hopefully, with the help of our media friends, if you can re-echo itong aspiration na ito, itong advocacy na ito, to as many communities as possible. Hindi namin kaya to without your help. So sana tulungan nyo kami to bring the message across. So, thank you.
Okay, sir. How many, sige.
Yung awarding pala, sorry, nakalimutan ko i-answer kanina. Ang awarding is January 2026 in Malacanang.
Okay.
So by the way, that's what makes the OYM really prestigious. Dahil year after year, it's the President of the Philippines that's usually award this recognition.
Sige. Then last question, sir. How many years of experience or work ba kailangan nila to join the Lead Awards po?
Wala namang specific parang number of years. Kasi yung kanyang body of work will be assessed. Kasi ang Lead Awards, yung search process niya, it's the organization or yung community mo ang magno-nominate sa iyo. hindi siya pwedeng mag-nominate sa sarili niya. So the community where that potential honoree belongs should nominate the person. And yung community mismo ang magiging testament ng kanyang body of work. And there will be a board of judges which are non-member of the organization that will ensure that the search process will be objective as possible. So lahat ng judges nito coming from different sectors of our local society dito sa Davao will be the judge. No? Titingnan niya, i-review niya, at kung may kailangan siyang additional information, the panel of judges can actually call the organization and do a verification or vetting process. So again, there's no specific years as long as yung potential honoree babad siya dun sa community and the community will be the testament of kanyang body of work. So yun ang hinahanap natin.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gio. I can recognize from your flyer, we have the previous awardees of the lead awards. We have Joji Laganbian. We also have Carol Arguillas. And here we have Leo Magno of Minda. And this Dr. Acosta,
Yes.
si Meng, and Doming Lopez, si Kochang Suarez, Baby Montemayor, si Bensor.
Yes.
Yeah, and I can't really recognize the others. So we have a lot of Davaoenos already awarded by JCI since the time of doon pa sa Marco Polo.
Yes. Tama po kayo, ma'am. Yeah.
Yes, oo. So we hope we will have more Davaoenos this year.
Hopefully. With your help.
Okay. Oo. Yes, Nova?
Hello, good morning po. For Sir Maximo, sir, I'd like to start po, you mentioned earlier with the financial literacy within the students and the schools. May mga ongoing talks po ba with the DepEd or the CHED?
So far, ma'am, wala pa naman, ma'am, sa CHED. Kasi what happened kasi is yung TESDA mismo, yung provincial director ang kumontak sa atin. Then what she was planning is, yun nga, to call on all TESDA partners ng mga institutions. So far, I haven't been sa CHED kasi wala pa akong contact with them. But if there will be somebody siguro na could help us na ma-connect ang CHED regional office, then we'll be happy to welcome them. Kasi yung financial management kasi through CHED yan na course. So I think mas maganda din na na CHED will be also be part of this event.
Sir, you mentioned about this lack of national version ng competency standards with the foreign exchange po
Yes,
ba yun
yes.
earlier? What's the role or ano ang pwedeng matulong ng TESDA with this skills training?
Actually, yung TESDA naman talaga actually is sila yung certifying body. So what TESDA can do is to gather these institutional experts na gumawa ng mga kumbaga parang curriculum. Kasi first of all, syempre, hindi kasi naman talaga yung TESDA yung gumagawa ng curriculum . It is those experts in the industry. So what happened, kapag nagawa na yung standard, nabibuild na yung competency standard na skill set. So ang TESDA kasi is meron niyang dalawang skill set, the basic skills and the expert skills na very much focused doon sa kung ano man yung topic. Kung culinary, it will be on the culinary side. So yung trabaho ng TESDA is to, once this standard is being written by these experts at tinanggap ng body, no, ng mga community na who are practitioners in the industry, kapag tinanggap na yon o maging okay, then magkakaroon na ng kumbaga standardization. So first of all, it will become a certification, may mga training, yung mga di ba meron tayong tinatawag na NC1, NC2, NC3. So it will be like that very much sooner. Kasi sabi ko nga kanina, hindi yung I believe pagka CHED kasi as far as I know, pag sinabing financial management na course, meron silang international partners. Like for example, I forgot the ano, meron kasi mga financial institutions na internationally accredited, doon sila nagpapacertify. Wala tayo sa Philippines. Kaya yun ang reason na TESDA is trying hard to do this. Kasi hindi naman po pwede si Central Bank ang gumawa ng certification. Kasi hindi naman siya, hindi naman certifying support as training institution although finance siya, but hindi siya sa training. That's why si TESDA ang gagawa nun. CHED is not doing so because si CHED is more on the education side yung kanilang focus. Walang certificate ang CHED ha. Walang certificate. Otherwise, yung certification mo, you graduate from that particular university or colleges. Pero si TESDA, meron. And that's the reason why si TESDA is really working hard to make this certification possible.
Sir, regarding sa trading ecosystem here sa Davao region, how is it competing po, let's say, sa mga online gamblings like
You cannot
Hindi na ako
compare
mention.
it. Yeah, you cannot compare it, no? Online gambling kasi kasi yan it's a matter of luck, no? Sa trading kasi it's not like that. So meron tayong tinatawag na mga technical skills na approach, no, mga technical analysis. We used to read fundamental analysis like mga economic events, like for example what happened right now, gera, 'di ba, in Iran tsaka Israel. So ano yung impact nun? So pinag-aaralan yan ng mga financial analysts. So particularly if you are trading oil, no, so chances are mag-aakyat or babagsak ang oil. So yung mga ganyan. So as a trader, we try to look on the market and take advantage, basically. The right term is to take advantage on the movement of these prices, then you buy and sell these commodities. Or for example, gold, you take advantage on the movement of the markets. So, ganun din. The same thing with stock market. Pag sinabi stock market, for example, if you try to look for stocks like, for example, VDO or any Jollibee, no? Pinag-aaralan, tinitingnan yan. May mga price movements yan. So, through analysis na nagagawa ng paraan yan kung when to buy, when to sell, or sometimes, pag fundamentally, ano ba yung mga decisions na ginagawa ng mga companies kung, may problema sila sa management. So, chances are, pag sasabog itong problema na to, it will push the price down. So, for me, why nasa taas pa yung price, I would sell now. Yung mga ganon. Or maybe there's a very good company, like for example, Dito. For example, si Dito na company, no, may parang may technology na ina-adapt ngayon si Dito, for example, na once they adapt it, gaganda yung signal ng Dito. So chances are, before yan ma-release sa market, alam mo na, meron ka ng insider information, I will buy Dito now. Kasi while the price of Dito is still cheaper. So ganun siya. That's how we tend to analyze. So, hindi kasi yan tinuturo sa school, unfortunately. And that's the reason why we try our best na to educate Filipinos. Kasi nga, outside the Philippines, Vietnam is really doing good right now, Malaysia, Indonesia, and some other countries, especially Singapore. Elementary pa lang, tinuturoan na nila kung paano mag-work ang foreign exchange, yung stock market. So, hopefully, in the Philippines soon, we will be more educated with this para ang daming tambay na nagagambling. Yes, sabi nga, you don't want to say the word, no? Na hindi na tayo sa ganun na part. Kasi yun kumbaga, hari-patay lang. Unlike sa, the foreign exchange market, you really tend to analyze what's happening in the market. Siya.
Kasi with the trading, it requires more, money in
Not
investing.
necessarily, ma'am.
Yes.
Not necessarily. Kasi that's a very good question. Kasi, sabi ko nga, trading kasi is a skill. Okay? So, since you have the skill, chances are, it doesn't matter na wala kang pera, but you have the skill. So, for example, there is a millionaire here na naghahanap ng trader. So, you negotiate with the trader. I mean, yung may pera, makikipag-negotiate sa trader. O sige, ikaw mag-trade ng pera ko ha. So, I will create an account. I will put money in. I will put 1 million, for example. Then, ikaw mag-manage ng aking account. So, will split the profit like 70-30. 70% sa akin, 30% sa'yo. Pero yung risk na sa akin. Diba? So, kung magkamali man yung mga trade mo, then the risk is on me. Diba? So, ganon. So, pero pag magaling yung trader, chances are, yung pag 1 million, nag-double yun. So, that means, meron kang 300,000, 700,000 sa akin. Ganon lang siya. That's how trading works. And some companies as well are also trying to find good traders kasi, by the way, we're not just talking about Philippines, ha? There are so many international institutions that are also looking for traders, not just mga fund coming from other nations na kahit hindi mo pa nga kilala yung funder, hindi mo pa kilala yung funder kasi may ready na talagang fund. Kaya may mga funded accounts na tinatawag. So once you have a very good trade history, no, halimbawa yung portfolio mo ang ganda, profitable ka, like sabihin na natin 7 to 10% per month, for example. Ganun yung performance mo. Then chances are, gusto ko tong trader na to kasi she could make money 7% to 10% per month. Wherein, if I will just simply park my money sa bank, it will just earn how much in per annum pa, hindi pa per month. So yun, that's how yung mga mayayaman talaga, they really play in the financial market. Doon sila naglalaro. Yun. Hindi siya gambling.
Thank you po. Last question lang po from my end to Sir Steve and Miss Hannah. Regarding lang po sa recognition, what happens after they are being recognized in the national po? May makukuha po ba yung parang sponsor community nila? Like in terms of monetary or funding? Thank you.
Our honorees do not get any financial prize or anything like that, but what they get is they get a bigger platform, an opportunity for them to be able to share also their advocacies, and with that, and also yung TOIM honorees kasi magkakaroon yan sila ng exclusive community. So even among them, nagkakaroon sila, they're able to help each other out in how to further pa their advocacy. So for TOYM, what we do also is after they are recognized here in the Philippines, we also submit them to be nominated as the 10 outstanding young persons in the world naman. Because JCI Philippines annually, JCI also has world convention, okay? So this year it's going to be in Tunisia. So last year it was in Taiwan, this year it will be in Tunisia. So inaakyat namin yung TOIM honorees sa TOYP. And then as far as talagang thankful ang lahat ng mga honorees with this recognition, lalo na yung mga up and coming na mga social entrepreneurs, kasi with this nagiging connected sila sa mga big business men and women na nakakatulong din sa kanila how to improve their companies. So, maraming opportunities pag nagiging TOYM honoree.
Yeah. Similarly, dun sa LEAD Awards, there's no monetary amount, no? But the opportunity there is, since the platform were created for them to promote their advocacies or their work, no? And isang opportunity na din yan for collaboration with different organizations. And ang ginagawa ng organization natin, si JCI, is to bring these honorees to different platforms. No, halimbawa, si JCI Davao, meron siyang most outstanding high school graduate na program din. So we bring the honorees to the young people para mas ma-share pa niya yung kanyang story so that we can inspire more Davaoenos. Yun yung goal eh. The goal is not just to recognize them, but the goal is to bring these wonderful stories and wonderful individuals to as many communities as possible. And i-plug ko na lang din, this year pala yung theme ng LEAD Awards is Honoring Excellence and Inspiring Progress. No? This underscores the transformative power of individuals whose achievements uplift the communities and spark positive change. These honorees exemplify leadership rooted in purpose, a deep commitment to serve, and a legacy of impact that resonates far beyond their field of work.
Okay, thank you. We have very limited time because our
Yeah.
panelists are busy. So we'll entertain the last question.
Isa-isa na lang ang questions, Ma'am
from-
Marilyn. Pwede si
from-
Ma'am Han at saka si,
From Dennis Lasso.
si Sir Steve. Ano bang the comparison and contrast ng GCI sa ibang organizations like the Fraternal Order of Eagles, the Mason? Ano ba sa inyo, may bayad ba yan? Kasi sa yung the Fraternal Eagles Order, Philippine Eagles, mahal-mahal naman. Pati na rin sa Mason. I mean, yung prangkahan, yung diretsahan na, ano ba, may bayad ba dyan? O?
Magandang question yun, sir. Let me answer this way, no? There is no other organization, if you compare it with other civic organization na led by young people.
Okay.
This JCI is led by young people ages 40 and below. Yun yung klaro doon. Unlike from other organization that you mentioned, si JCI led by young people. Meaning, we allow young people to be trained in leadership role, how to organize, how to lead, how to do public speaking, etc., etc. These trainings helps them and prepares them for their roles in the community and in nation building. No, so unlike other organization, isasabak agad sila sa mga different community projects. Sa JCI, we trained our members first on how to do proper way of community organizing, mobilization, fundraising, etc., etc. Then tsaka yung project na gagawin nila, these are just byproduct. The main goal is to train them. So this is JCI. So usually, yung mga magagaling na JCI, nire-recruit ito ng Rotary, ng Lions, ng
Kiwanis.
Eagles. Yes, kasi training ground siya. And that's why yung mga ibang JCI is known to lead good events, no, in the city or in other field of work like in the corporate world or in an NGO or kahit sa gobyerno, maraming mga JCI dyan.
I hope marami pa akong katanungan sa inyo pero later na lang siguro pagbabalik nyo. Kay Sir Maximo, how do I
Guinness
pronounce
po,
that?
Guinness.
Parang Guinness World of Records. Ano? Sir, ang venue ninyo, Tagum.
Is Tagum City po.
Sinasabi na before, grabe yung sabi mo, investment scam. So sinasabi
Yes.
nilang Tagam City.
Tagum City.
Oo, karon hindi na. Masasabi mo ba na hindi na maging Tagam City ang Tagum City because that will be your venue
Apo.
sa trade ninyo and I hope you will not mind this. Medyo sumali na ako dyan sa yung tinatawag na Bitcoin pero parang nabiktima ako dyan eh. Not to destroy ha,
Apo,
sa ano to, pero parang hindi ako marunong dyan. Though ako, negative na ako dyan.
Education.
Oo.
Yeah.
So I hope nga makahatag kag trader nga nindot pod pero murag Tagam na ko anak mo na siguro Tagam City pero later with your presence siguro diha mahimo ng Tagum City balik. So sir, ang kanibang ingani nga klase nga unsa ni pag-involve mi man na okay ba ni?
Okay kayo, sir.
Okay kayo.
Okay
Kay
kayo.
kun dili sakit kayo. Diba?
Okay na, sir. Na proper education yun siya, sir.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you very much. Mas maigi na eduka. Kay Ma'am Matelong last na lang. Ma'am, tanaw nimo daghang gyud pong magpakasal tungod kay naanay mga
Sir, Tagalog, sir. Tagalog.
Ay! Sorry, kanina ka pala hinulat. Kanina pa ako naghulat para magtanong. Ma'am, yung kasalan ngayon, yung magpakasal, is it because of the new design sa mga isuot or talagang because of love?
Okay. People think na we bring kasalan because it's fancy at saka, alam mo na, pang sosyalan or pang party. But actually, the deep-rooted objective of kasalan is to promote wedding tourism. No, it's to actually encourage yung ating mga kababayan at yung mga nandito to patronize at dito mag-celebrate. At of course, i-honor yung ating tradition of tying the knot. No? Kasi po, in a world wherein uso na ang live-in at uso na yung, not that we judge, no, those who do, but deep-rooted sa atin, sa mga Pilipino, di ba, na ang kasal ay madalas minsan lang sa buhay ng isang babae.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
So, yun po ang ino-honor natin sa kasalan. And then, at the same time, we're providing po kasi an avenue or a platform para po sa ating mga kababayan at sa ating mga komunidad to to be able to create local businesses out of it. Kasi sobrang dami po ng pwedeng maging parte ng kasalan. Starting from pagbi-makeup, pagtitake ng photos, pagbibigay ng venue, even to financial planning. Kasi po,
I see.
nandyan na po yung papasok yung mga newly wed natin na mga attendees, no? So, ang aming pong mantra is to be able to encourage na makita ang kakaibang galing, ganda, at reliability ng ating mga suppliers at establishments na sasali. And you don't look anywhere else. No? Hindi po natin sabihin na pagka ang gown natin galing ng Cebu, mas maganda. Pag ang photographer natin galing ng Manila, mas magaling. No? Na here in our hometown, here in Davao, nandito po yung mga kailangan ninyo para mas makatipid at para mas maging reliable at kaaya-aya ang ating selebrasyon.
At saka mas magaling. Ma'am Marilyn, pahabol na lang, isa lang. Balikan ko si Sir Steve. Sir Steve, kanang para mawala na yung kaguluhan sa isip ko. Kamo ba'y una naghimuan ng katong gitawag nga Operation Toli? Kayo ba yon? Yung dito banda sa may Central Bank, yung sa ano to?
Ang kanang Operation Tuli panahon na sa among past president si Danny Gutera, no? Ang tawag ana Operation Batman. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng Batman? Be a total man.
Mauday
So
nga.
ang JCI sa Philippines is already 77 years, no? So in Davao,
kamo to katong sa Presbyterium kuan ba to?
yes. Davao na siya. It's a JC project.
I see.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Habi at Kape at saka Minda, and of course JC kay tungod ninyo na natuli ko kay mahal ra ba ang bayad sa hospital. Salamat og may buntag.
Okay, we've really exhausted our time, and thank you very much for all the information. We'd like to ask our panelists to please give us a very brief closing statement. We'll start with Matel.
Again, iniimbitahan po namin ang lahat to join us on July 26 to 27 at the Activity Center of Ayala Mall sa Brisa. You can bring everyone po, and supportahan po natin ang Davao Wedding Tourism. Supportahan po natin ang mga Davao Wedding and Event Professionals. Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you. We'd like to hear a brief closing remarks, sir.
Again, Mindanao Traders Expo 2025. It will be held in Tagum City Atrium, July 31 at August 1. So this will be a 2-day event. Financial literacy program for everyone, open for all. If you want to know financial literacy, make your money work for you, then be there at Tagum City, July 31 and August 1. Thank you.
Salamat. And with Miss Hannah.
Again, we're inviting all the Davaoenos, and Mindanao wants to nominate your remarkable young individuals in your community, in your barangay. Let's have them recognized, and please visit TOYM official Facebook page or get in touch with any JCI Philippines local organization in your city, in your barangay to get nominated. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Steve Arquisa.
Yes, once again, maraming salamat for having us. So for Lead Awards, the deadline of nomination is on September 20, and the tentative awarding ceremony, which we hope we can invite everyone here, will be on November this year. And sa mga flyers nyo, there's a QR code. Lahat po ng inyong information or materials na kailangan ninyo for your press briefer is there already. And for the viewing public, you can visit our Facebook page, JCI Senate Davao or Lead Davao. So maraming salamat po sa inyong support.
Thank you very much. Here's Iris.
On behalf of the Mindanao Development Authority, headed by our chairperson, Secretary Leo Torres Magno, I would like to thank our guests, Sir Steve, Miss Hannah, Sir Guinness, Miss Mathel. Thank you and good luck on your upcoming events. Thank you to our facilitator, Miss Marilyn Roque. Thank you to our media friends present here today, our media friends monitoring online, our online viewers in our Minda Facebook page. Thank you, everyone. See you again next Wednesday. And inviting everyone to please join our guests for a short photo session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, JC.